Okay, hi, this is Josh Rackless, and before I begin, I just want to give you the caveat that I got here from LA this morning after traveling all night. My flight was delayed like 6 hours. I didn't really get any sleep last night, so I apologize for both the quality and content of this little rant or whatever it is, but I figure I should just get it out because, it's the new year, and it's all about producing content and just doing it, to paraphrase Nike. That's not even paraphrasing them, that's just ripping them off entirely. So what happened was I was just talking to my partner George here. He'll chime in to remind me every now and then what I was talking about. I was sitting here going through Facebook, just looking at the news feed, and this picture popped up. And I was like, oh man, you shouldn't do that. And what I was referring to it was a picture that was in the Facebook page of a girl at work here who's, I'm not going to name her, but she's known as a very beautiful girl. And even other girls, when I mention them, they're like, oh, yeah. I mean, that's, they would go lesbian for her. It's the general consensus. So there was a picture of her, and then she's beside a friend of hers who was getting married, and then another girl is beside. So these, the girl I know and some stranger are sandwiching the bride, and it's, a very beautiful picture in the summer and stuff. But my thought was just like, don't do that, because the girl I work with is just so beautiful that beside the bride kind of made the bride not look as good. And when I covered the picture of the girl I know with my hand, I'm like, yeah, the bride looks very beautiful. But then you take the hand away, and now the bride, you can sort of see, well, maybe her face isn't quite proportioned as well, or her body's not quite the same level of quality. And then at the same time, the other person on the other side of her, see, okay.
Watch it, Josh.
Yeah,
Watch it.
exactly. This is what the discussion got into, because I thought, this is so funny, I could start making jokes about...
Don't go there.
About, yeah, exactly, about the less attractive girl, and saying that's who you want to pose with, and this and that. And I thought that would be funny, but it got into a discussion. I'm like, but could I do that kind of comedy? Because, then that would become my brand. I'd be kind of like a... Andrew Dice Clay or something, who's just an asshole, like a misogynist jerk going, hey, making fun of a woman for maybe being a bit overweight or whatever. Like, and it seemed like a funny thing in my head, but then I'm like, can I even do that and then also do my other comedy? Or would I basically alienate anyone who maybe even moderately likes what I do? Am I now the asshole? And especially, most of my friends are women. I don't know but even guys, nice guys wouldn't appreciate. But on the other hand, Sarah Silverman's dirty and makes fun of people, and it's sarcastic, but yeah, so it became a discussion. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I could do it. Like, I want to do it. And then George was talking about stuff he wanted to post on Facebook, some kind of, funny thing. Can I say what you saw? No, I can't even say it. But it was just stuff in a grocery store that if you look at it a certain way, it's kind of funny and dirty. But he's like, no, that's not my brand. So I was thinking, yeah, I can't make this my brand, I guess. But then it occurred to me, but I could maybe do a discussion about whether you should do that kind of thing for your brand. So it's more of a branding discussion here. And I'm sideways getting in the little joke that I would have wanted to do, but in making it a discussion of branding, I'm getting away with doing the comedy that would otherwise be offensive. I even thought of showing the picture to show what I was talking about, but then it's like, no, you can't do that. No, yeah, George said, no, that's not good. And then we thought, well, can you Photoshop out the faces? No, because, well, partly people would still, if you knew the person or whatever, you'd be like, hey, I know that photo. But also the faces, the facial structure and everything was part of the joke. So we decided, yeah, that's interesting, because I have this little routine about the photo in my head now, but I can't do it because, I guess, of branding, of who I want to be as a comedian. And sometimes I think, it's like I was saying with my New Year's thing about tweeting. Like, sometimes I want to tweet dirty, but can I tweet dirty now that maybe David Steinberg might read my tweets? Is that the gist of the whole discussion we had, basically?
I think so. I think,
yeah.
I thought more of the humor was going to come out of where you were going with it, but I don't think you can go
But you're saying I can't do it. That's the problem.
Can't do it.
Can I do it?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to do it. You know what? I'm going to say, this isn't me doing it. This is me saying what I thought could be said by someone who had less taste. I guess I'll just go there. Okay, so the thing was, the one on the left, I won't even say the left. Can I say the left? Nobody's ever going to see this photo. It was a bigger girl, so I thought, and the funny thing about her was also, she's posing, here's how girls pose. And I've talked to girls. I know that even girls who have flawless bodies would pose like this. You sort of do your thing where you're, standing to the side, and then you put your arm like this, and then you put your leg out a bit. The leg was out a bit, and it's like, carefully crafted to make yourself look as good as possible. I've read that this is what Hollywood actresses do. There's a certain way you put your body to make you look good for the camera, and even Scarlett Johansson does this, like standing like that with the hand on the hip and all of that. And that's what I'll call her the other girl was doing. And in my head, I thought, yeah, somebody might do a joke about how, you're not fooling anybody. Like, we can see that you're a big... See, I'm already offending myself with this. There's no way to do it.
I think so.
So, yeah, maybe maybe that is the answer, that sometimes you think of something that might be funny in your head, but you realize it's not the kind of comedy you want to do. Inappropriate. Yeah, which is a bit disappointing to me. Like, I feel like...
What would Louis C.K. do, Josh?
Louis C.K. would do it, I think.
He would.
He would do it.
But you're not Louis C.K.
I'm not Louis C.K. Yet. But did he get there? Because he does this whole thing about, young girls. He sees them in line. He's like, they look like sluts or they look stupid, but I'd still fuck you or whatever. Like, he does. But that's not the same thing. That's not making fun of maybe somebody for being overweight or not as attractive as someone else. I don't know. His stuff's always very intelligent. I don't go, oh yeah, he's making fun of fat people. He's just, like sort of making fun of people for being overweight. That reminds me more of the lesser comedians I saw in Hollywood. I saw a stand-up act the other day, last week, and I'm going to do a review of those comedians. But yeah, so I guess there is a limit to what kind of comedy you do if you're trying to be sort of a nice guy. And clearly I've reached the limit of comedy right now because I'm not being funny at all. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. This wasn't a comedic bit then. This was more of a discussion that I throw it to you. Should you be censoring yourself when you do your comedy, or should you just do whatever you think is funny for the sake of comedy? Yes, this is a discussion. So comment below. See, now I'm like Jenna Marbles. Comment below. Nobody's going to comment below.
I might.
All right. We got one at least. Let's see what George says. Thanks. Happy New Year.